Alright, adding delete links is potentially dangerous, so it's a good idea to write a test to make sure that users can only delete their own posts. And we've also added several elements to the interface here, so it would be a good idea to write an integration test to capture that behavior. Let's close things down. A bunch of tabs here. And now let's get started by editing the micropost fixtures. And let's add a few microposts for other users. This will make it easier to test the microposts. So let's go down to the end here. Actually, let's get rid of that white space. And let's add one for this user, for Archer. So that's this. Let's call it ants. Content is, oh, is that what you want? Because that's how you get ants. Need to be created at more than time.zone.now ago. So let's say it was created at 2 years ago. Oh, and we need to give it a user. And then let's put in a few more. And create a couple for a different user. We won't actually use these last two in this lesson, but we will in the next one. Now let's write a test to make sure that a user can't destroy the micropost of a different user. It's going to go in the micropost controller test. This is where we put the access control tests. So the strategy is to log in as Michael here at the top, and then try to destroy this micropost here, ants, which belongs to Archer and not to Michael. So we can use our login as helper. And then we need to assert no difference in the micropost count if we send a delete request to the destroy action with the ID of a micropost that doesn't belong to this user. So let's say micropost of ants. When the test is read there because I haven't saved this fixtures file yet. I meant to do that, but then forgot. Let's save this again. There we go. No harm done. And with that access control test done, we're now ready to make an integration test for the micropost interface. Let's go here and generate that. Let's call it micropost interface. All right, let's open that up. We're going to want to log in as a user, so let's do this. And let's test the interface. All right, we log in as the user, and then let's get the root path. Make sure pagination is being invoked. Remember, we checked pagination on the user's profile test, so that was for the show page. Now we're going to check it for the home page. Actually, we can save this, work incrementally. All right, and so let's check. Let's just go through the things. We go to the home page. We make sure that pagination is invoked. And then let's make an invalid submission, like this. This is the micropost path it's being submitted to. Actually, let's put in a comment here. We post with, say, empty content. Anything invalid is fine, so let's just do this. And then this should give us that error explanation div. So that's what we expect for invalid submission. For valid submission, let's define the content. So that asserts that this actually increases the micropost count by 1. And in fact, if we're going to do that, we should probably do this too, just for consistency. We can add this, assert no difference here. Okay, so after we submit it successfully, we check that it changes the micropost count. And now we want to make sure that the content of the micropost appears on the resulting page. So that involves following the redirect. That's this here. We might as well assert the redirect too. And then we want the resulting response body to match the content. Let's check that. That's good. And now let's check deletion. Let's make sure that there's a delete link first. And now let's issue a delete request to the micropost path of the first micropost on the page. The difference should be 1 in the micropost count. if we issue a delete request to the micropost path of that micropost, that didn't pass. What happened? We want to delete the micropost, so it should be a difference of -1. You can see up here the difference is 2, right? It was 40, expected actual 38. That's because it was +1 instead of -1 for a difference of 2. All right, so that's working. And now the last thing is, let's see if we go to a different user. So this is the profile. If you go to your own profile, you should see these delete links, but if you go to someone else's profile, they should disappear. So let's go to a different profile. Archer is our canonical second user. And now we want to assert that there are no delete links. So we can do this. And the way to do that is text delete. Oh, this is in quotes. This is what we did up here. Count 0. And this should not be a comma. And that's it. That's green. So let's take a look at the whole test suite. All right, so our basic microposts are now working, and they're well tested too.